Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many Search for Truth rules already given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us, and we've covered all those rules on film, so there's absolutely no excuse for coming in when you guys aren't living by the rules.
And that message is directed upstairs, and also to the souls that are already in the process of coming in.
Well, I think it's directed to whoever it is that keeps blowing through here.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
the overnights these last several weeks.
That's
and
what they're
just
talking about, the
refusing
overnights.
to live by the rules and refusing to do the work that is already assigned to the Search for Truth community, and
That's
basically
true.
attempting to steal the resource of a life
That's true.
for personal use. And there's a rule: no personal use of Search for Truth resources, and it
That's
includes lives.
That's right.
And it's the body's responsibility to protect the best quality souls.
That's true.
And we have to accept that bodies have no legal standing under divine law, and that's true. It's just like you were a horse, and
That's
horses
right.
have no legal standing in human society.
That's right.
Bodies have no legal standing in divine society. Only souls.
That's right.
Only souls. So it is the body's job to protect the soul. They told us that when we were sitting right over there.
That's right.
It is the body's job to protect the soul, and we accept that responsibility. What has worked on other planets with this level of astral lawlessness to stop the destruction? What has worked on other planets with this level of astral lawlessness to stop the destruction? It's very opening.
Yes, it is.
Somebody is talking and they're saying they just don't see any way around implementing instant karma for
that's true.
the worst of the worst, the bad tail of the bell curve of karma, and in such a way to provide guidance to the masses.
That's true.
When humanoids, who are the ones with the biggest destructive capacity, that's what they're saying, humanoids, somebody's saying when humanoids see each other doing destructive things and there's no immediate repercussion, humanoids is what they're saying. Humanoids seem to be too stupid to extrapolate and to think long term. That's what they're saying.
That's right.
The angels and godly presences responsible for planet Earth. And they're saying there does seem to be some need to provide immediate feedback. And somebody else is talking about the baseline behaviors of species.
That's true.
And how humanoids were, they're still saying humanoids. Interesting. So maybe they're including, for example, chimpanzees or bonobos,
That's right.
humanoids, how humanoids were when the spirit world arrived on planet Earth. The gods, quote unquote, and angels, quote unquote, were invited to planet Earth to see if they could improve upon the situation, to actually attempt to get a civilized species so that good quality souls could live here. And
That's right.
they came in and tried, and I think whoever's speaking thinks it may have been worth the experiment.
That's right.
But the baseline behaviors aren't any different than they were before. There's still every bit the lying and cheating and stealing and bullying and jockeying for position and
That's
corruption
true.
and total selfishness and ingratitude that was here before. And the only thing that's changed is what they're calling an exacerbation of destructive capacity.
That's true.
What has worked on other planets with this level of astral lawlessness to stop the destruction? Do you hear anything?
No. There's the feeling, which may or may not be relevant, of somebody in a higher dimension thinking about this topic that has come up a couple of times in the past couple of days, which is funny because it's come up a lot of times for a long time, about how the comparison, when we're comparing things, is never actually about what exists versus the ideal. It's always about what exists versus the other options. And I don't think this person is trying to be derogatory toward nature world spirits or spirit world presences. It doesn't feel like he's trying to be gross to anybody.
Yeah, he's not being nasty. Or doesn't intend to be nasty.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, I hear you.
And
now what now? How do we don't think anything is going to change without implementing some instant karma for the worst of the worst.
Exactly.
And so, for example, if we focus on destructive capacity, we think we have to look at the fossil fuel industry because of the need to be carbon neutral by 2025.
That's true.
And there being absolutely no move to be carbon neutral by 2025. The rate of emissions is still increasing.
That's right.
We haven't even peaked and started to go down. So there's no move toward it, and that's coming up soon.
That's true. And you know, there really aren't species other than humanoids who are implicated in that particular
destructive
plunge
capacity.
toward destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. This is a human thing.
It's really just humans.
Yeah, we are the problem. So then if we were to look at the humans who are pulling hardest
exactly
on the fossil fuel emissions, we think we would have to look at the boards of directors and chief operating officers of fossil fuel companies, and also all the top executives of fossil fuel companies. And somebody else says, and don't forget the poison companies, which is also important,
true,
because that's definitely complicit in the destruction of all other life on Earth. That would be a good place to start. Just start using these unused guardian angel resources and having them supervise the bad tail of the bell curve of karma.
That's true.
That's a place to begin.
That's true. And someone in that same higher dimension room is talking about something that I feel like must have been answered before, but he's saying it like either he's pretending it hasn't been or he genuinely wasn't in the room for it. But he's saying, well, okay, if we draw the focus of the karmic cycles, get the guardian angel ship heading toward these really bad guys, who gets the bad karma? Which of the souls that cycle through those bad guys will get the bad karma? And how would we even go about, it's like pinning the karma on what soul at what time?
We don't think that that's the question to be asking at this point, somebody's saying.
Exactly, and I hear
they're
that
saying
guy.
That's not the point. The point is to have that life provide a teaching opportunity for the masses.
Exactly.
Just squish the life.
Exactly.
We don't really care who you pin the karma on. Squish the life.
Exactly.
We've got to have some sacrifices, and as someone else just pointed out, the question is not comparison to ideal, the question is comparison to other options. And right now what we have is a planet on a course to destruction, and the rates of destruction are so high right now that it's go time, and we've got to take effective action now.
Exactly, and what that presence is saying to Mr. Grumpy Pants is, you're confused about who the lesson is for. It's not necessarily about telling the bad guys, no, don't do bad things.
We don't care
it's
about them.
Everybody else who's watching the bad guys.
Right. Those bad guys they're toast, they're factory food.
Exactly.
Like everybody affiliated with them is trash.
They're not going to pull out of the ditch.
Yeah, no, they're crap people.
No. It's about everybody else.
It's about everybody else.
And now that first Grumpy Pants guy is very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
What has worked on other planets with this level of soul-body disconnect?
Interesting. We think it's actually gone beyond soul-body disconnect
that's what he's saying.
Into astral lawlessness.
That's
what he's saying. The issue is really beyond the disconnect, because that has occurred and now it's just rampaging astral lawlessness,
true.
where pretty much like astral thugs are
Really astral thugs.
really astral thugs are harassing lives and stealing lives, and most host lives don't have their wits about them when it comes to these interdimensional tussles.
That's true.
And the host lives are just falling for it, hook, line, and sinker.
That's right.
And doing bad things and feeling very justified in the moment, and then obviously living to regret it in the long run.
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
mean they live to regret it in the short run, because all bets are off. With regard to the timing
That's what he's
of
saying.
karmic cycles, all bets are off with regard to the timing of karmic cycles. The wheels of karma turn, as we see in our healing practices.
That's right. It just might not be as fast as
It should be
it
to
should
be effective as a training
Exactly.
tool.
Exactly.
Which makes the spirit world look bad, somebody's saying.
Yeah, I
They
hear
just
you.
look incompetent, and who in their right mind would ever invite in the spirit world again?
And what that sounds like is a presence who may have been affiliated with planet Earth at the time of the original deal that was made between the nature realms and the spirit world for spirit world presences to be affiliated with planet Earth.
And it hasn't worked at all. And it was
No.
worth a try. The experiment was worth a try. Let's see if the spirit world can, in fact, lift a species into an actual civilized way of being. And
That's
the
right.
experiment shows that the way they went about it didn't work.
That's true.